have a timeline of when you're supposed to go. 35, you should be done. I don't care which sport you're in. You start calling me old at 35. You add 5 more years on that, and then you're 40. Well, you gotta be slowing up now. 45. We are young before we are old, and that's why we are immature before we become mature. I don't think about retirement. Yes, it's a time when things has to wind down and be over, but it doesn't have to be that way on somebody else's terms. Another chapter, another age bracket, another halftime of life. Old to y'all is a number, but it's not the person. And that's your biggest mistake.
Welcome to Hopkins at 50. I'm Neil Hartman. There are very few professional athletes that compete at the highest level in their sport when they reach the age of 50. Bernard Hopkins is one of them. In 2014, at the age of 49, Hopkins became the oldest boxer in history to unify titles in a weight division. Remarkably, this unique Philadelphia native is not ready to hang up his gloves just yet. But for the next half hour, we plan to go back in time and look ahead at the life of Bernard Hopkins. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do you feel 50?
Not really, but a Happy New Year. Some days, I feel like I'm not 25, but I don't feel like I'm 50. And that's a good thing. I mean, I have my aches and pains, my soreness, but that comes through, working hard and stressing my muscles to a point where, you need rest.
You said in the open there, you don't think about retirement.
Yes.
Even now?
I mean, I know I can't do this all the time, but I don't think about a day, a month, a year, I'm going to retire. I know I got more in back of me as far as years than in front of me. And you know what, Neil, now is about whether it's one fight, whether it's 2 fights. I'm not going to even push and say 3, but I know this year will be the year that Bernard Hopkins will actually wind down 26 plus years of I consider excellence in the ring.
In his last fight, that was on November 8th, Bernard put his belts on the line against Sergey Kovalev. It turned out to be a one-sided affair in favor of the man known as Crusher.
Kovalev hammering Bernard Hopkins from pillar to post.
Bernard Hopkins deserves and will always get all the respect in the world from anybody who knows boxing.
How you feeling?
Good.
Where would that rank as far as toughest fights?
Definitely up there.
Definitely up there.
I'm not looking for a cigar for second place or a pat on the back. No, I'm not, because I'm not that type of guy. To say 50, you won because of your age, that's taken away from him, and I don't think nobody should do that. If you ain't supposed to be in there, you shouldn't be in the ring, no matter what age you are. If you don't want to be in there, what age you lose, you lose. Be safe in there, okay? Thank you, man, for the opportunity. No problem.
It's unheard of in any sport. I don't care if it's boxing. In any sport, what he's accomplished is he's a freak of nature. I was hoping till the last second of the 12th round that Hopkins was going to land that right uppercut or that right hand.
Because he was pretty winded, too.
He was winded.
Yeah, he was pretty winded.
Was that part of the plan?
No. It was just happened like that.
Did you feel like you could beat him? Did you feel like he was a better fighter?
I felt like I could beat him all the way up to the 12th round because I still was trying to get that punch in. I was swinging to the end.
Bernard lost all 12 rounds to Sergey Kovalev. One headline said Hopkins shows his age. Think that's fair?
To some people's eyes, they might see it that way, but I just think with his age, when you fought so long and you fought one of the best in the division, now considered the best, I think it's just people's opinion on whether I show my age with that guy or whether it was just a way of styles and a way of him having a better strategy.
I know after a fight, I look at you and you go, look at my face. No cuts. I'm not bruised. You look great. You look great.
Thanks. I got a little gray
coming in. But you do. You have a little gray. Look, we all get a little gray.
But I like the look now. I like the look.
But you want to keep fighting.
Well, listen, I don't want to keep fighting where I've embarrassed my legacy and I embarrassed myself. You want to leave on a dignified way. Not necessarily always winning, we know, but you want to leave winning too. That's the caviar. That's the icing on the cake. And what better time at 50 to accomplish something that no 50-year-old athlete in any sport ever done or became close to doing. I have that opportunity.
Long before he was known as the executioner, the alien, the champ, Bernard was the king of Germantown. As a youngster, he was trouble on the streets.
This is my neighborhood. This is where I grew up at. This is what I did my dirt at. This is what I did my crimes at. This is where I had my respect at. I was the man of this avenue. I was the guy. Wesley Snipes had a movie called King of New York. I was the king of Germantown.
He says, I'll be right back. I gotta go get some money. And as fast as I turn my head, he coming back across the street, and this guy's laying in the middle of the trolley track. I mean, and this guy was like bigger than me, you, him, and Bernard put together.
Being the king of Germantown landed Hopkins in and out of the city's Youth Studies Center, a detention facility that, ironically, he now looks down on from his loft above the city.
That's the yard right there. And they be out playing basketball and stuff like that. I used to do that. That little spot right there is the yard.
And how long did you
At
spend
1 o'clock.
there?
I spent off and on, I say from 3rd grade to about 8th.
That's no longer there.
No longer there. And you know what, Neil? It's a thing, man, that I've always wanted to collect my footsteps, I would say, in life and also in boxing. And I became a collector of my own legacy. And to look at this and see this, Neil, from years back and seeing a guy named Jay, we call him, in the neighborhood, is still around. And you know, on Germantown Avenue has basically changed for the good as far as the buildings, the abandoned houses. You know, it's a reflection of where I've came and where I have to go. And I still feel that, you know, there's a lot to do outside of the ring to be able to take that same energy and apply it like I've been doing already to my life outside the ring in Philadelphia.
Well, we'll continue going down his journey in life. And, you know, he at one point was heading down a real tough path. But when we come back on Hopkins at 50, you will see rare video of Bernard in the ring, in prison, as he lays the groundwork for a professional boxing career. Also ahead.
You give me a rich fighter and a hungry fighter, I'm going with the hungry fighter. I don't care what his talent is. And if his talent is like mine, dead man walking.
From powerful words for Oscar De La Hoya to a controversial flag throwing for the Felix Trinidad fight, Bernard Hopkins is all about intimidation. That's next.